We are live, just so you know. All right. All right, guys. Let's go for a walk. And for us, let's move on with the recipe. Okay, I have this cute apron here. Look at that. What's it? All the cats of Greece. All right. Perfect. Let's start. Thing. Preparation. Okay, so a few tips before we start with the recipe. A few things that are really important. First of all, preheat your oven. Make sure that as you preparing your ingredients, you are preheating your oven at 350, because we need the oven to be at a steady temperature before the cake goes in. Very important for how the cake is gonna grow and to stay fluffy. Also to avoid cracks. For that, also you will need water that you will add in the pan. Well, later we're gonna put the form here, and you're gonna have about 1 inch of water in the pan, and all that it's gonna go into the oven, and that will make the surface of your cheesecake softer, and it will avoid cracks. So that's one thing. Second thing, let's preheat the oven actually right now. Bake. If your oven has a convection, also, all right, that's perfect. It's preheating. If you have a convection oven and it has an air option too, that will work very well for the cheesecake also. Another thing, make sure that your cream cheese is out on your counter for at least half an hour before you make the cheesecake, because you need the cream cheese and the butter to be in room temperature or even melted, because they blend better. Same thing goes to the sour cream and heavy cream, but this is a more loose rule. Definitely we need the cream cheese and the butter. So I'm gonna get just a little bit of leftover butter that I have. I don't really enjoy cooking with cooking spray. I don't know why. It doesn't give me the flavor that I want. So I usually butter all my forms and my pans with actual butter. So one thing you're gonna do is take your butter here. Make sure that you have it everywhere in your spring pan really well, so you can actually have the wax paper, the wax paper, the parchment paper that you're gonna use. You're gonna have it stuck in the spring pan. One thing. All right. Now, the first thing that you should be doing when you're preparing for the cheesecake is to create your crust. I like a thick crust on my cheesecake, because I would say that I enjoy the base equally as much as I enjoy the cream. So that's done. That's good. I have cut my parchment paper already here. Make sure that you are above like half an inch, maybe a little bit more from your spring form here, because your cheesecake is going to rise, and you need more paper here so it won't burn the edges. So now that I have my paper and everything in the sheet, I will put this in the fridge so the batter gets solidified again and keeps everything in place. All right, so first, let's create the crust. Most of my appliances today are from Hamilton Beach. They are not a sponsor, but they are welcome to become one later in time. So here, I'm gonna do, well, people like just graham crackers for the crust, but I prefer to mix about 4 ounces of crackers with 4 ounces of almonds. I think it gives a much better flavor. 4 ounces, about a handful, honestly, and gives a nice, richer flavor, and I like the nuttiness. And I usually like to add a little bit of cinnamon too. So here. The recipe, by the way, is in the description of the video on the YouTube channel right now, because I'm live there too. So let's talk portions for whoever wants to write down the recipe. So in general, you need about 7 to 8 ounces of graham crackers and almonds together. You can play with the ratio according to what you prefer for your for your own taste. I usually go with about 5 graham crackers, which is about 4 ounces, and another 4 ounces of break them well, make sure they are in there. So this ratio is going to give you about a 1/4 inch thickness in your crust. Let me check something here. Okay, perfect. Hello everyone. Hello Mina. Oh. All right. All right. Not a lot. We don't need a lot of cinnamon here. Just for a little flavor. That's perfect. Don't forget that you will need also a tablespoon of sugar in here. And you will also need 5 tablespoons of unsalted butter melted. Okay, which we're gonna add as we blend this. Take my cane sugar. Okay, so what happens with the sugar and the butter for your base is that this is going to caramelize all the ingredients and the butter is going to roast them. So this is going to give that crunchiness. The butter is going to give that crunchiness in your to your base, and the sugar is going to keep everything together. Right. Click. This is ready. Let's go blend. You need them to be as fine as possible. Now that everything is kind of in a sand form, you have to add the melted butter slowly. I already had it here. I melted right before I started this live. Okay, so now you will see that your whole mixture looks like wet sand. So that's the consistency. See, it's not separating. So that's what you want for your base. And now we're just gonna put it on the in our pan. Put it in here, press it well so you can take over the whole bottom and create your base. There we go. Use your fingers, by the way. I know. I know that you can use all kinds of tools, but old-fashioned, I was gonna say fingering, but this is not that kind of channel. So just using your hands is always better. Like, this is how my grandmother used to do it for everything. And you know what? I've learned from her most things that I know, so I trust. In grandmothers, we trust. The masters of recipes. Nancy, have you learned anything from your grandmother about cooking?
I've learned more from you than from my grandma.
And that's how I contribute to my friendships.
They heard me.
Cooking, huh?
I don't think they heard me.
Oh, it's okay. Well, she said that she learned more from me than her grandmother. And that's how I contribute to my relationships, I said. So when you press your mix at the bottom of the pan, make sure that you have it like evenly distributed and pressed, because if it's not even, other parts are gonna be better roasted, other ones are not. You don't want inconsistencies. Take your time. Oh, it smells so good. It already smells so good. All right. So, you just created your crust. Everything's perfect. And you're gonna put this in the oven for about 8 to 10 minutes, or if you see it becoming golden brown, you can just keep looking at it, and if you like it more crunchy or not, you can just leave it a minute or two more or less. I think for my special taste, 8 minutes, perfect. All right, 8 minutes on the clock, and let's move forward. All right, next step. As this is baking, when it's done, you can either put it in the fridge or just leave it somewhere, away from the oven to get as cool as possible. You don't want it to be warm when you lay the cream on top. If that happens, the cream will break, and you're not gonna have a cheesecake anymore. All right, and for the cheesecake. One more thing, actually. Mixer for the day, again, Hamilton Beach. I tried this a few years back, my place in Los Angeles. Super easy to use. Also, super easy to travel with. It almost looks like a little first. So you have everything here. As I said, super easy. It comes with all these different heads. You have 2 dough heads. Okay. Give me 1 second. It's got a little bit. Okay. So you have the 2 beaters that we're gonna use for the cheesecake today. Then you have the 2 dough heads, classic whisk, and a frother. So you truly have everything that you need in one place. This one is the one that locks. Perfect. When you hear the click, it's ready. Another thing, it has those 2 sits here. So if you have a bowl that has a rubber bottom, so it's not gonna move around, you can just like sit the blender in here, and it has 6 different speeds, and also the burst button. So you can literally, you can go under 0 and you can play with it like that. And that gives you perfect control of how you mix everything, because otherwise everything can explode. So let's leave it aside and go. So for this one, we're gonna use 32 ounces of cream cheese. As I said, it should be in room temperature, so make sure all this. 32 ounces and about 2 cups of sour cream, about half a cup of heavy cream, and let's go. Let's see how we're gonna do it. So this is a Kirkland from Costco, just because, you know, when you buy in large quantities, that makes more sense financially. But classic Kraft or Philadelphia cream cheese works fantastic. All of these brands are coming in 8 ounces packages like this. So you just need 4 of those packages and you're good. So we will start beating the cream cheese with the sugar first. So what we need is all your 32 ounces of cream cheese in here and 2 cups of sugar. Hello guys, I'm so happy that you're all here. You know, I was a little nervous in the beginning because I haven't done another live before, and this is one of my favorite recipes, my cheesecake, and all my friends also love it. And I thought it would be a great idea if this is the first recipe that I am showing online. It's also a quite easy recipe. If you really have the basics in your kitchen, you can very easily make this. One thing that you should remember though is that if you crave cheesecake and you decide to do my recipe, you will need to eat it 24 hours later. So it will take you about half an hour. No, I would say 15 to 20 minutes to combine everything. About 2 hours to finish the baking process. And then everything must go in the fridge for at least 12 hours to set. So that's the only thing that you need to remember. But this will be probably the most delicious cheesecake you've ever had. And bean, excellent, much better. Otherwise, no. So at this point, and before my crust is ready, I want to review all the ingredients once with you, just so you can write them down and make sure that we're all on the same page. So 8 ounces of mixture graham crackers with almonds. You play with the ratio, it doesn't matter, it's a matter of taste. So that's one thing. 2 cups of sugar and 1 tablespoon of sugar separately, which you're going to use for the base. The 2 cups are going in here. 5 tablespoons of unsalted butter, melted, not room temperature, melted, because you need it for your base. 32 ounces of cream cheese at room temperature, otherwise it's not going to blend well with the sugar. About half a cup of heavy cream, 2 cups of sour cream, 5 tablespoons of all-purpose flour, 1 pinch of kosher salt, about 1 vanilla bean if you have the whole bean, and if you don't have, and if you have the extract, I would say about a teaspoon, not super full though, but like a teaspoon of vanilla. That also depends on your taste. 4 large eggs, whole eggs, and 2 eggs that you're going to keep on the side just for the egg yolk. Normally I was doing this cheesecake with cream cheese and condensed milk, but I discovered that if I take the 2 cups of condensed milk and I replace them with 2 cups of sour cream, half a cup of heavy cream, and the 2 extra egg yolks, it gives me a much more balanced flavor, but also makes the cream cheese creamier, more decadent, fluffier. It's like, all of us really enjoyed it more in that sense, and that's why I kept doing it this way. And these would be your ingredients. So let's go add the 2 cups of sugar here. Little Sienna is crying again. It's okay. She's speaking, not crying. Which is okay if she was crying. He's a baby. That's what they do. 2 cups sugar. My crust is ready.
Yay, it's ready. Yay.
How nice and golden brown it became. So let's leave this somewhere far from the oven. The oven is nice and preheated also. All right. The necessary coffee for energy. For whoever is interested, I drink a double espresso, triple espresso, Americano, black. And always cold. It's a Greek thing. All right, let's do this. All right, so it looks like icing right now. So in here, I'm gonna add the pinch of salt. Yes. So let's do like a little bit of salt. And now that it's well blended, we're gonna do the heavy cream and make it and incorporate it, so we can start adding the rest of the ingredients. So we want also half a cup of heavy cream. So I would say that definitely go step by step, like add one thing at a time. There's no reason, like, because they get incorporated better. That's the only reason, to be honest. Now that you have incorporated the heavy cream, let's go add the sour cream. You don't want the overbeat the eggs, because it's gonna make your whole cream cheese stiffer, to be honest. So everything well incorporated, but when you put the eggs in there, mix them. But then what I do is I mix them in the beginning and then I start folding a little bit, because that brings air into the dough and it's much better. So half cup of heavy cream went inside, 2 cups of sour cream. 2 cups is 16 ounces. This is already 16 ounces, so I don't even have to measure it. Just go to town. I do like to eat as I cook. Not everyone does. I enjoy it. Let's incorporate that also. Nice. So everything is here. This looks like yogurt at this point. Let's do the 5 tablespoons of all-purpose flour. Add them one by one as you mix. But also, before I do that, I can also do the vanilla bean. What else? No, just the vanilla. And then we can start adding the flour. I think that should be enough. As I said, that is up to you. Fresh vanilla bean is always a better choice.
Excuse you.
Amateurs. All right, now that you have everything that is solid except the vanilla bean in this case, that was liquid, you have everything else incorporated, you will start adding the eggs one at a time. Not all together, just one at a time. Make sure that you incorporate well each egg before you add the next one. So that's one. Let's go mix. And as I said earlier, don't forget, don't beat the eggs too much. The 4 whole eggs, just enough to incorporate. And I need to add my 2 extra eggs, just the egg yolk. Okay, before I'm completely done, I like to take the spatula and just scrape the edges of the bowl, because you definitely have some parts of the dough, the cream actually, the mixture, that are stuck there, and you don't want the curdles, you don't want any grits in your cream essentially. So incorporate everything. Give it a nice spin at the mixer again, and then it's ready. Like for this part, I will throw the base in the fridge for a second. The cooler it is, the better. Throw it in there for a couple of minutes until you're finished with this, and then you're ready. You just pour this on top, and we are ready to go in the oven. One last trick. If you want a more dense cream cheese, heat it like this. When it's in the pan, also keep heating it, because that's gonna take all the bubbles out. You will see immediately on the surface, bubbles are gonna start bursting, and that will give you a much more dense cream cheese. If you want it fluffier, give it a good spin, let all the air inside, and then just move on and bake it like that. All right. I think it's ready. We can remove it from the fridge and go for the last stage. Oh, it smells so good. I can just eat this by itself. Start from the center and let it just go around. I don't know if you can see this in the camera. Probably you don't. Oh, it smells so good. Are you sure that Sienna cannot have any cream? A little bit?
Sure, but I can have it all for her. She'll get it through the breast milk.
Say what?
She'll get it through the breast milk.
Uh-huh. Oh, you can put a little bit on your nipples. And then let her breastfeed like that. I mean, you know that in Greece, actually, that's a good point. That's a good story moment. Back in Greece, in olden times, like my grandmother, for example, and my mother, they used to take a pinch of sugar and just put it on their nipples for the baby to grab and eat more. Yeah, you can also see it in a couple of old movies. Yeah, they used to sprinkle the nipple with sugar. That's why we're so sweet. Oh, I know. I know. Okay. So that's here. We are ready. Don't forget the water. So, pan. Oh, actually, one more thing. One more thing. Aluminum foil. This will also stabilize the temperature of your form. So we're putting this, I hope you're able to see this. I'm putting it here, and I'm going to close the aluminum foil around the pan as tight as I can. Okay, we need even distribution of temperature. Okay, so this is a heavy duty aluminum foil, so just one piece would be fine. If your aluminum foil is thin, then go on a cross style. One sheet like this and one sheet like that, and blah, blah, blah. All right, so we're taking a baking pan, put it in the middle, and you will need about 1 inch of water in the baking pan. You will fill this with water because you need the bubbles and the steam to make the cream cheese fluffier and avoid the cracks on top. You will place your baking sheet in the middle rack of your preheated oven. And now, the most important part. Like, if you forget everything else I said in this video, this is the only thing you should remember. do not open the oven door. For the next 2 hours, this door is considered locked, and throw away the key. So at 350, you're gonna put this to bake for a whole hour with the oven door closed. And when the hour passes, you just turn off the oven and you let it sit for another 1 hour. And after that second hour, this is stabilized, then you can take it out and put it on top of the oven, probably for another half an hour to 45 minutes until it's well cooled down. And then plastic wrap that touches the surface, like press it against the surface of the cheesecake and then put it in the fridge. That will help you not create any crust, and also it will help you not get any sweat on the cream cheese, and it will keep it more fresh. So don't forget, don't open the doors. Trust the process. All right, oven is at 350. Timer is at 1 hour. Very important, timing. Always use your timers. Water is in, your cheesecake is in. You don't really have anything else to do here. Now it's the waiting game. In a couple of hours, we're gonna take it out to let it cool. Put it in your fridge, and then your cheesecake is gonna be ready after at least 12 hours of sitting in the fridge. I like plain cheesecake, New York City style, but you can add on top of your cheesecake any kind of jam that you like. In this kind of cream, because it's a cheese cream, you can put because it's cheese cream with sour cream inside, so you have that end on your palate with a little bit of sourness. You can definitely do strawberry preserves. You can do fig. I love fig on this kind of sourness. Or another thing that I did for my friend Aki's birthday last year, we made it a creme brulee, essentially, cheesecake. So we just dusted the whole surface with the granulated sugar, get a torch, and just slowly torch the whole thing, let the sugar melt, leave it aside for like 5 minutes. It will become like a piece of golden glass, and then slowly break with your spoon, which is the most satisfactory moment, and then enjoy. So let's go through the ingredients one more time for whoever just hello guys. Hello Gina. Whoever just joined us, and just do a recap. We have about 2 hours to kill. So ingredients: 8 ounces of graham crackers and almonds mixture. Ratio up to you. I do 4 and 4. I like the balance, but it's up to you. 2 cups of sugar, granulated classic sugar. If you want to use brown sugar, expect a more smoky flavor, a darker cheesecake. Probably better consistency, to be honest, but also heavier in sweetness. 2 cups of sugar and 1 tablespoon of sugar divided, separated on the side. That's for the crust. 5 tablespoons of unsalted butter. Make sure it is melted. You need it for the crust, melted. 32 ounces of cheese cream at room temperature, because it's easier to mix it this way. Half a cup of heavy cream. 2 cups of sour cream. If you don't want if you want a decadent cake, a much sweeter and probably stringier also in the consistency cake, don't use the sour cream, the 2 cups of sour cream, and you can replace that with condensed milk. Much sweeter, creamier, stringier. So half cup of heavy cream, 2 cups of sour cream, 5 tablespoons all-purpose flour. When you incorporate the dry ingredients into the creamy ingredients, like the 5 tablespoons of flour, make sure you do it 1 tablespoon at a time and mix as well as possible. 1 pinch of kosher salt, 1 whole vanilla bean, or otherwise if you have it in extract, you need a whole teaspoon of vanilla extract, 4 large eggs, incorporate 1 at a time, plus 2 egg yolks at the end for more fluffy cream cheese, and boiling water for your pan, anything, any jam, any berries that you want for the top of your cheesecake. Make sure that you are putting aluminum foil around your form. And also, as I said before, tips: 350 Fahrenheit preheated oven for sure. About 1 inch of water in the pan helps with the fluffiness. Do not open the door. The most important thing. Try it. I will post some pictures of the final product, and I'm expecting to hear from you in the comments if you did it, how it went, if you liked it, if you found the recipe easy or difficult or complicated. And of course, hit the follow button, give us a like, let me know if live videos like this help you with your recipes, with your cooking, if it feels more engaging, if you enjoy what I'm doing and how I do it. I want to hear everything from you, so so I can start doing this a little bit more often. For whoever just joined us, this was my first live video here in Charlotte, North Carolina, and thank you all for keeping me company this whole time. Have a good day, enjoy your Sunday, and I will see you in the next one.